What's up guys, this is Billy Duran and today I'm going to tell you who the dunker of the decade was. Now when I say dunker of the decade, I don't mean from the NBA, I mean from the pro dunkers or the freestyle dunkers, whatever you want to call them. This is not a Zach LaVine award, this is not Aaron Gordon, not Vince Carter, even though he shouldn't even be in this decade. This is the guys that you see on my page, Dunkademics, and social media, the internet dunkers is who I'm talking about. So before I tell you who I thought the dunker of the decade was, let me tell you some of the criteria that I use. Longevity obviously is very important. How long across the decade they were a top dunker. The impact on the dunk community that they've had. New dunks that they've created. Dunk contest performances. The amount of dunks that they've done. Their following on social media. How viral of a dunker they are. All of that. And obviously the most important is how good of a dunker they are. And if you've seen my video on the qualities of a great dunk, I'm talking about vertical, style, power, and difficulty. So that's my criteria. I'll kind of elaborate on those a little bit more later in the video. But without further ado, I'm going to give you my dunker of the decade. Drum roll please. The dunker of the decade is Jordan Kilganon. So I put up a post on Instagram asking you guys who you thought the dunker of the decade was. A lot of you guys said Jordan, a lot of you guys said Jonathan Clark, Chris Staples, Guy Dupuis, guys like that. I went with Jordan Kilganon and I'm about to tell you why. So Jordan Kilganon by far has been the most viral dunker over the past decade. He has the biggest following on Instagram. All of his dunks, all of his new dunks go viral. He almost always posts new dunks. He doesn't, re-upload old dunks. If you see him post on Instagram, it's usually because he's hit a brand new dunk that nobody's done before. It's really insane. When he first came on the scene, a lot of people questioned his ability to dunk in dunk contests. He was considered a viral dunker rather than a contest dunker, which I don't think is a big problem, but he proved them wrong. Contest victories, he's got about 17 major contest victories along with some other smaller ones. Contests, first of all, talking about contests, I don't think that victories in contests are that important just because they have a lot to do with who you dunked against, who the judges were and how they judged. A lot of them are really bad judges. They don't show a dunker's full ability. Most of them are just limited to 4 dunks in a 30-second time limit. So dunk contests, in my opinion, just don't show a dunker's full ability. More important than the victory, I think, is how well you performed. If a dunker performs well in the dunk contest, he can't always control if he wins or not. But as long as he performs well, I think that is the main thing for the contest. He's got close to a 50-inch max vertical. Just last year at dunk camp, he hit 49.5. He punches dunks, he's got great style. The difficulty of his dunks, obviously through the roof. He's done dunks that nobody else has ever done before, a lot of them. Some of Jordan's notable dunks, the Scorpion is kind of what started it all. He ended up doing it at the NBA All-Star game. The crowd went crazy, and the NBA All-Stars, you can see, they're like, what the heck did this guy just do? After that, the Lost and Found went ridiculous. He invented the crown. He did the upside down dunk. That's one crazy thing about Jordan is when you think about the dunks that he's invented, it's dunks that I'm scared to even attempt on a low rim. Like when he first did the crown, I was thinking, how could I do that dunk without hitting my head on the rim? It's crazy that he thinks of these things and how to contort his body to put the ball in the hoop. The upside down is another one of those where, kind of reaching behind over your head. I don't know how he thought of it, but props to him. He's really on another level when it comes to inventing dunks. He hits all of the categories I've talked about. I think the one thing that maybe he doesn't hit to the top level is the longevity. He maybe started getting good around 2012, 2013 is when he really reached, peak level, even though he got better after that. But everything else, impact, the impact that I've seen Jordan Kilganon have is really, beyond anybody else. He has inspired other people to become dunkers. He's inspired other people to create new dunks, to hit new dunks, to recreate dunks that he's done before. His impact is just really global and just has hit another level that other dunkers haven't hit. Volume of dunks, aside from hitting new dunks that he's invented himself, He will recreate dunk contests from the NBA and do every dunk that they did. The one thing that I really criticize him for is not posting enough, but that's not because he's not dunking. He literally has hundreds of dunks that he's never posted before just because they're not up to his standard of dunking. This is really like the big reason why he's the dunker of the decade, just because his standards are so high. Like, he's hit so many dunks that he's never posted just because they're not up to his standards, even though, you know, any other dunker would be like so quick to post that dunk because it's so awesome. Jordan wants to hit it the way that he wants to hit it, and if he doesn't think it was exactly right, then he's not going to post it. One thing that I love about Jordan is that he has an engineering background. Before he dropped out of school to pursue dunking, he was going for an engineering degree, and he really approaches dunking from an engineering perspective. The way he puts together his dunks, you know, everything from the way that you're moving your arm to the way that you're looking at the rim, whatever, the way you contort your body, he really puts together dunks in a unique way that I don't think that anybody else has ever done before. So kind of like to sum up everything, I think that the main thing that separates Jordan from everybody else is that, you know, a few guys maybe have won a couple more dunk contests, a few guys maybe have been around slightly longer through the decade, but nobody is even close to Jordan on the number of dunks, the virality of their dunks, inventing new dunks. Like, it's really Jordan up here and everybody else is down here or lower. I mean, guys like Jonathan Clark and Isaiah Rivera recently, you know, have made new dunks, but Jordan has consistently been making new dunks since 2014. That's just been, you know, amazing to watch. I can understand people who lean more towards dunk contests. I can understand more, you know, leaning towards being around the entire decade, but I think that Jordan has been around long enough and done way more in the years that he's been around than anybody else in the entire decade. So that's what I think it came down to, is just Jordan is so far ahead of everybody else with his creativity, inventing dunks, doing dunks not only that other people have done, but dunks that only he can do, and I just think that that's unmatched. Another thing that I think makes Jordan, you know, the dunker of the decade is that he has really pushed himself to be a better dunker more than anybody else, I think. Really making it his life's work to be a professional dunker. You know, a lot of people will say, oh, well, you know, if this dunker would have spent every day trying to hit that dunk, then they would have done it. But the fact is, they didn't do that. Jordan is the one who has really dedicated himself to doing all those dunks, and nobody else did. So the fact that he has spent more time on it shouldn't be a detriment to his ability. That should really be what sets him apart from everybody else. I think when we talk about like career accomplishments, you always got to go back to what was actually done by somebody, not by what they could have done, but by actual results. So when you say lots of other dunkers could have done those dunks that Jordan did, the fact is they didn't. I mean, Jordan was in the gym putting in the work to make all of those dunks, and that's what makes him the dunker of the decade. He didn't just, you know, a couple times a year show up to dunk contests and get a victory that, you know, may or may not have been deserved. He really just stayed in the gym. He did dunks that nobody else has done before, and he really took dunking to the next level. I don't think that you can say that about too many other guys that were in the consideration for this list, is that Jordan really took dunking to the next level. You know, it's hard to beat that when you have a guy who's by far done the most dunks, invented the most dunks, been the most viral dunker, has the biggest following, has close to the highest vertical out of anybody. His style is good, he punches every dunk. So obviously there are arguments for the other guys, Guy Dupuis, you know, Remix, Chris Staples, Jonathan Clark, guys like that who have been around long enough, who have won dunk contests, who have hit new dunks. Gosh, I mean, it's a hard choice, but I think Jordan Kilganon really hits every category the most out of anybody, and so he would be my pick for the dunker of the decade. So I'd love to hear what you guys think. This is just my opinion. I'm just one person. I think I have a credible opinion because, you know, I've seen so many dunks, I've recorded so many dunks, I've had so many conversations with guys about dunks. But it is just my opinion, so let me know what you guys think. I value your opinions too. You're watching this video, so obviously, you know, you're a fan of dunking, and I want to know what you think. Drop the comments below, and thanks for watching. Just kind of rambling on about dunk contests again. I mean, I've seen guys, I saw Young Hollywood get 8s for windmill elbow hang, behind the back, and under both legs on the first attempt. People gave him 8s. Kerry Hilson was a judge. Kerry Hilson has no business being a judge at a dunk contest. Most times there's dunk contests, the people who put on the contest want to go for big names rather than people who actually know about dunking. Very few people know about the difficulties of dunking. Gimmicks usually prevail over everything. So dunk contests do not prove how good of a dunker you are. I don't care what you say. That's it. That's my thoughts. Just my opinion, but I think it's a good opinion. So that's it, guys. I'll see you later.